Welcome to this explainer. All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to simulate sitting right in the cockpit of a Bombardier Q400 aircraft. Our mission? To completely master the missed approach procedures on the Flight Management System, or FMS. Look, a missed approach is an incredibly high workload environment, so understanding exactly how your FMS reacts and what it needs from you is absolutely crucial. We're going to break the whole shebang down step by step so you can memorize it effortlessly. Here's our precise flight plan for today. First, activating missed approach procedures. Then, system deviations and the GA button. Third, initial missed approach legs. Next up, toggling the map display, followed by EFIS altitude and waypoint visuals. And finally, map transmission and autogon. Let's get to it. Section 1. Activating missed approach procedures. Initiating the map sequence. Okay, so put yourself right in the captain's seat of your Q400. To initiate the sequence manually, you first need to access literally any navigation or NAV page on your FMS. From there, just follow two exact keystrokes. Look at the line select keys on the right side and simply press LSK3R, which corresponds to the missed APR prompt. Now, you might be wondering, is that option always there? Well, it's critical to know that this MISSDAPR option only lights up and becomes available under three very specific conditions. The procedure has to be defined in your flight plan, the approach must currently be active, and the final approach fix, or FAF, must have been sequenced. Alternatively, depending on your specific setup, you can actually bypass the FMS menu entirely and just hit the physical go-around button. To make this stick when the workload gets heavy, just remember this effortless trick to cement the manual FMS sequence in your brain. Navigate 3 right out of danger. You're on the nav page, hitting the third key on the right. Simple, super effective, and it takes all the guesswork out of the equation. Section 2. System deviations and GA button. Immediate system reactions. Boom. The moment you activate the missed approach, your current approach is instantly canceled. The FMS automatically sequences beyond the end of approach, or EOA, gap, and that's what allows for normal leg sequencing after passing your missed approach point. Pay close attention to your deviation scales here. Your lateral deviation will immediately revert to exactly plus or minus 1.0 nautical mile scaling, and your vertical deviation will flag. There's a critical note straight from the operator's manual regarding the Flight Guidance System, or FGS, that you've got to keep in mind. If you opted to initiate the missed approach by pressing the physical go-around button, your FGS immediately enters GA mode. However, for the FMS to actually provide lateral guidance for your missed approach path, navigation mode absolutely must be reselected. So hitting the button isn't the final step for lateral guidance. To perfectly remember this crucial coupling step, just tell yourself, hit GA, but renav the way. It's a quick mental check to make sure you don't forget to recouple the navigation mode to your lateral guidance. Section 3. Initial missed approach legs, CA and VA leg types. So once you're executing the missed approach, the FMS is going to start pulling data for your flight path. Your initial sequence will very often begin with specific leg types coded as either CA or VA. These are the standard FMS identifiers for those initial climb-out and heading legs. But listen, this is where your situational awareness needs to be incredibly sharp. Because these C or VA legs often involve altitude terminations, you have to remember that your aircraft might or might not already be at or above the specified altitude when that initial leg actually sequences in the FMS. Altitude alignment just isn't guaranteed at the exact moment of activation, which dictates how the system behaves next. Section 4. Toggling the map display. Managing your nav menu page. All right, how do we actually pull this data up on the screens? Just follow this linear, chronologically strict progression to bring up and secure the nav menu page in your Q400. From any nav page, you first press the menu button. Then press line select key 1L to toggle the missed approach points display either on or off. Finally, to lock it in and go back, press return by hitting LSK5R. Now, a quick heads up here, you really need to know which software version you're running, because the exact toggle commands differ slightly. For the standard configuration, LSK1L toggles the display on and off. But if you're running software versions SCN 1000.3 or 1100.3, it's split up. LSK1L will enable the display, and you actually have to press LSK2L to disable it. When things get busy in the cockpit managing a missed approach, the last thing you want to do is fumble through menus. Just remember this rhythm for the standard flow, which we like to call the toggle dance. Menu, 1 left, 5 right. Just tap that out in your head and you're going to navigate the nav menu perfectly every single time.
Section 5. EFS altitude and waypoint visuals, display responses. Okay, let's talk about what you actually see. There is a huge difference in EFS behavior depending entirely on your current altitude during those initial CA or VA legs we talked about a minute ago. If your aircraft is already at or above the specified altitude, the FMS will immediately sequence right past that waypoint. No problem. However, if you are below the specified altitude, the EFS will actually display that specified altitude, shown as 4 X's, right next to the leg terminator identifier. And note this, the actual waypoint identifier field will remain completely blank until that leg becomes the active navigation leg.
To help you anticipate exactly what your screens are going to do, lock this visual link into your memory for effortless recall. Above, pass it. Below, show it. If you're above the altitude, expect the FMS to sequence past it. If you're below, expect the screen to show the target altitude while keeping the identifier blank until it's active. Section 6. Map transmission and auto-on, data flow triggers. Here's a fundamental rule of the whole operation. The transmission of this vital navigation data, I'm talking about the actual missed approach legs and flight plan records sent to your navigation display, is entirely dependent on having the MAP display physically toggled to the on position. If it's toggled off, this data transmission simply doesn't occur. But don't worry, the engineers built in a brilliant safety net. It's basically an automatic failsafe to illuminate the display when you need it most. The MAP display will automatically turn itself on when either the tow waypoint or the next waypoint, NX, is a designated missed approach waypoint. It knows you're getting close, so it forces the data to display.
So, we've covered the exact manual keystrokes, the instantaneous system deviations, the specific altitude behaviors of CA and VA legs, and the automatic data failsafes of the display. Having mastered these step-by-step procedures and memory tricks like navigate 3 right out of danger and hit GA but renav the way, how confident are you in taking command of the FMS during a missed approach? Keep these concepts fresh, trust your procedures, and you'll fly it perfectly every single time. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and safe flying out there.